didn't need to hear it. People are feeling it. All right? Your mic was on that entire time, and when you were like, oh, I couldn't hear it, I'm like, of course you can't hear it, Cameron. Of course. And I didn't tell you could hear it or not. But ladies and gentlemen, I am George Carmona, your host of Gridiron Junkies, and we just finished up a wild week 1 of the NFL season. Actually, let me stop. Let me stop with a fake hype. It wasn't that fucking wild. It wasn't. I was actually telling Cameron, and Cameron, you could throw up your lower third here so that people know who I'm talking to today.
Should I put myself on the camera?
You could put yourself on the camera too. I think the people want to see a beautiful
my lower third.
Blonde girl who knows a little bit about football on camera. I was telling you though that you. If this was week 19 of the NFL last season, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, there was only, I would say, 3 games that really shocked us this weekend in the sense of that isn't the same team that we saw last year. And we're going to cover each and every game from the morning slate. We'll actually start with Thursday Night Football. We'll go through the morning slate. We'll go through the afternoon slate. And then we will cover what was, I think that's a first-degree murder. Possibly genocide that the Cowboys committed tonight on the Giants.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, not good to get shut out.
Oh, no. Never a good thing to get shut out. Graham Gano, we will be talking about the Giants kicker and how he cost me the fantasy matchup this week. But let's hit it from Thursday Night Football. So we knew going into this matchup that Travis Kelce was wishy-washy. I don't know, right? Was he going to play? Was he not going to play? Everybody was being a clickbait bitch like hours leading up to the game. Like, oh, I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet that said Travis Kelce, he might not be at full capacity. So he's at half capacity. He's still playing. You could still hammer him. People were putting him as a anytime touchdown scorer. Like, that bet could have been placed weeks ago. People already placed that bet. They're like, oh, of course Travis Kelce is going to score week 1. And then, boom, hits a little hyperextension of the knee, and he doesn't play at all. But I picked up Noah Gray, the backup tight end in fantasy, and he did 7 points worth of scoring. It was not an electric night whatsoever. And for week 1 of the NFL, the last time that Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes met up, I think 105 points were scored, but that was in Guadalajara, Mexico. It was.
Oh, yeah.
It was a crazy game.
I remember that because it's something with the altitude. Oh, that makes them, or is that baseball?
No. Yeah, the altitude, but it doesn't really, it's supposed to make the players more tired. Maybe a little more loopy in the head. They were missing a lot of tackles, but let's not even touch too much into that game. That was the last time Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff met up. But this game was completely the opposite. What you witnessed was the Lions staying true to who they were last year. They gave up really big plays. Like, that Lions defense just looked so penetrable. I mean that in every sexual way of the sense, okay? They were just opened up, okay? Spread eagle, some could say. And Patrick Mahomes was like the guy now and was just like, let me just go and get in here. I can find all the crevices, all the different holes inside the holes. He did just that. He looked amazing. The one person that absolutely fucking ruined this game was Kadarius Toney. After the game, Kadarius Toney deleted his Twitter.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would you, like, because you can imagine some of the shit that was being said to Kadarius Toney.
You just mute it, I guess.
Yeah.
But then people can still mention you, so.
Why do people, and I'll ask you this, Cameron, why do people delete their Twitter? Because, like, this is.
They don't want to deal with it. That's it. Easier. Because to delete it, then people can't mention you. I feel that kind of, that's the whole thing. Because if you just don't look at it, I mean, people are still saying shit about you. Not that they can't if they don't mention you, but
yeah,
still.
Yeah. I mean, but that's almost owning up to, like, how much you sucked, you know?
Well, I think he knows that. I think he knew that.
Yeah, but don't be soft and deactivate your Twitter. Like, we think
hey,
that's
mental health is important. He has to focus on football.
Mental health is important. You know what's really important? Catching the ball when Patrick Mahomes fucking hits you 3 times. It wasn't once. It wasn't twice. It was 3 times that this dude, single-handedly cost them the game. So, I don't think Travis Kelce is the difference maker in that game also. Like, I really don't. I think all preseason leading up, who were the Lions preparing for? They're preparing for Travis Kelce. So I think there was a game plan put in place that we just didn't get to see because the most electrifying receiver last year wasn't on the field. Like, it would be absurd to think that the Lions, the entire preseason, weren't like, okay, we're going to do this specifically for Travis Kelce. And then what happens. And they squeak out of there with a win. It wasn't pretty.
Do you think they would have done better if he played because they were more prepared for that? Is that...
I think they would have done better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they ran a lot of zone defense. I don't know if they have the dogs to line up man-to-man, but boy, if they don't, it's going to be a long-ass year. Because the other thing is, like, Patrick Mahomes is still just one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And there's multiple, so I'm going to say he's one of the best. Like, there's multiple quarterbacks, I would say, at that level that can lead their teams into winning situations. And he did that, except they lost. The Lions beat them 21-20. That's all. That's all from that game. Now we move on to the morning slate. Okay. Let's start off with the game that everybody picked, or I think it was the majority pick for Circa Survivor Series. It was the biggest spread the entire week, and that is the Ravens versus the Texans. The Ravens did what you thought they were going to do versus the Texans, except the one thing that really shocked me from this game was the lack of Lamar Jackson getting jiggy with it. Like, he was a real pocket passer in this game, and that, like, the Ravens are going through this, like, identity crisis because they got a new offensive coordinator, this Todd Monken kind of guy, and I want to see Lamar a little more free. But Cameron, we had a big injury this game. Which player got injured?
JK Dobbins. Poor guy.
What happened to him?
Poor guy. Tore his Achilles tendon, which, that's awful. That's a hard one to come back from. That's a long one to come back from. It said he was out for the season.
Yeah.
Which,
imagine
first game.
Isn't that, like, it's so tough to hear, like, because he was going to be a prominent figure in that Ravens offense, and now the Ravens are going to have to, I don't even know who their backup running back is. Is it maybe it's Gus Edwards from last year, if they retain the same. Lots of good running backs out there, though. I know that it's kind of just like a plug-and-play type of thing.
I need new ones.
Yeah, I mean...
Both of mine in fantasy sucked this week.
Who did you have in fantasy?
I have Joe Mixon and who's my other one? Oh, DeAndre Swift. He got me a point.
Yeah. Yeah, and Joe Mixon,
in the Eagles.
The Bengals. Oh my goodness. We'll get to that game though in a second. But I mean, final thing on this one. The quarterback, Mr. CJ Stroud. All right. For the Texans, his very first play of the game, he throws a pass and then it gets batted. He catches that pass. There has only been one other player in the history of the league to have their first passing attempt also be their first completion, and that was Brett Favre. So, little fun fact that was sprinkled in there this morning that we got a chance to see a little bit of history. You know, he gets added to that
second time. That is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know about cool, but
I do wish you can throw the ball again. You can't throw the ball after you catch it and it's been deflected, or it's been deflected.
Really?
You catch it.
I think they should change that.
I think so too.
Like in darts, if you catch the dart after it bounces off, you can retoss it.
Hold on. Put yourself on camera. Tell that rule again.
Okay, I don't know how official it is, but when I played in my garage, this is what we did. If you toss the dart and it bounces off and you catch it, you get a retoss, which I think that's fair. Same thing can apply to this. It's pretty cool because how rare is it that you can do that? Okay, usually it bounces off, so it plays crazy, but
that is true. That is true.
I don't know if that's an official dart rules. I have to look it up, but it could be.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think you should be able to do that. CJ Stroud, he decided to run with it. I mean, because he had to, because of the rules. But anyways, there was nothing else too exciting from this game. Patrick Ricard looks large. My God, he is the fullback for the Ravens. This dude, I don't know what he's listed at, and I guess I will. I'll give a quick little goog here on my end to see.
Goog.
Actually, if you could, Cameron, just to see what Patrick Ricard is listed as, because he looks
what do you mean listed as?
Like listed, like I don't know, Wikipedia or ESPN, whatever, wherever his most recent weight is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
29 years old, 311 pounds.
Oh, he looks every bit of 311.
What's the height? Let's see.
He looks just
6'3".
You know, if things went really south with America and we got into a war, like Patrick Ricard needs to be like, if he's not one of our soldiers, at least in the propaganda to scare other countries, we just put Patrick Ricard there with like an M60, just cut off sleeves, just totally not the American Army uniform, but just to scare the living shit out of other countries. Patrick Ricard, if things ever go south, let's get that done. Anything else? Anything else from this game? OBJ, he came out. He did the Ray Lewis. It was very half-assed. It was rushed. He didn't soak in the moment because I think he realized too. He was like, I want to do this because my social media manager told me to do this.
I want to keep getting paid large amounts of money.
But at the same time, I know I'm kind of like really disgracing. Like, dude, I've never played a game for the Ravens, and you're going to come out and you're going to do the iconic dance from the best player to ever play for the Ravens.
What do you do?
Ray Lewis's dance.
What's his dance?
He like shimmies and then shimmies and then step. He's just like, and I'm like really reserving it right now because I'm like in this chair and I don't want to also disgrace it. Like I kind of just did, you know. You asked me to do it, and
I didn't get the full effect. I kind of get it. It seems like a good celebration dance.
Yeah,
thing. I like it.
It is. But he did that, and then he ended up getting his first reception in the fourth quarter. Like the offense was solely around Zay Flowers, their rookie wide receiver draft pick. He was a quick little guy out there on the edge. They're getting him the ball through screens, tunnel screens, drag routes. He's going to get a lot of action. But OBJ will be their deep threat, and I think that's where he's got to live. So, moving on from that game onto the game that, caught you brought it up earlier with the Joe Mixon thing. We're talking about the Browns taking on the Bengals. The Browns defeating the Bengals 24-3 in the dog pound. I contemplated there. So I was like, did they play in Cincinnati? But no, they were on the road. Joe Burrow does play days after signing the biggest quarterback contract in NFL history. And your dad was all over it this morning. I was like, can you believe this dude? He gets paid and then he just performs like this, like this is exactly the way it's supposed to go. He gets his $50 million. Why should I have to play? Why should I have to play? And it's weird. It's weird. Do you feel the same way about that? Like it's such a unfathomable amount of money. Like we're talking $50 million to play football.
Is that a year? Like this year?
Million. Yeah. Just this year. Okay.
That's bananas.
Do you play harder or do you not play harder? Put the camera on you. Let me see you sweat this out.
I mean, if I cared about my craft, I think it would push me to be hard, like work harder at it and be better at it. And still play hard. But I mean, if I'm guaranteed $55 million, I don't know. I might fake an injury, possibly. What does the contract say? Does it a lot for injury, or can I sit on the bench? Do I have to play?
Injury? Did you
fake a little injury? Then I sit on the bench for $55 million.
So for 55
until playoff time when it's serious and I need to do all that. You could do that. Depends on your character, I guess. I don't know.
What type of character do you think Joe Burrow has?
It's coincidental timing, I would say, since he didn't do too well today after he signed it. So I'd say we have to see how he plays next week. I don't know.
Okay.
This could be a fluke, but 2 out of 2.
Let's see here. So his stats were he was 14 for 31 for 82 passing yards. If you went to your local fucking wherever they're playing Pop Warner football, if you went there and then you were to tell them, hey, what was the stats recently from like your 10-year-old game? Probably over 82 passing yards.
You played with heart.
I mean, like these kids, they didn't get $55 million contracts.
Like
so they're playing
players.
hard. They're playing hard.
They're fighting for something.
They're playing for something bigger than themselves. All right. All right, Joe Burrow. He's already
at that point.
He's been to a Super Bowl, been to multiple AFC Championship games. Let's just
Has he won? He hasn't won, right?
Has he won a Super Bowl? No.
I don't know.
No.
Oh well.
Joe Burrow, ringless. But he can fucking buy a lot of rings.
He could buy a few rings.
We can do the math on that right now. We're talking
how much
hundreds
is a Super
of
Bowl
thousands
ring?
of rings. Depends on how much you connotate hard work and dedication for your entire life.
Priceless.
So my little rant here. I wanted to go on a little rant about Joe Burrow, and I kind of did. It'll finish off with this. He was benched at the end of the game for Jake Browning or whoever the backup is. I'm pretty sure it's Jake Browning. Used to play at Washington or whatever. Who cares? They didn't score a touchdown. Joe Burrow, get in the game. It's 24-3. You score a touchdown with 3 minutes left. Not only does it invigorate this life back into the game, which for the most part was a pretty fucking tough game to watch. It was boring. Yeah. It was typical Browns football. Just ram it down your throat with Nick Chubb. It works. Nick Chubb is worth so much money. But you bench him, okay? You decide, all right, you know what? I don't want any offensive success going into the next week.
See, looking at it here, for 3 3/4 of the football game, Joe Burrow wasn't providing any, offensive success. So why, if you know you're pretty much going to lose at that situation, 3 minutes left or whatever, take him out, give the backup guy a shot. Just, you already don't have any success. Let's just throw that out there.
Okay.
Throw him out there.
Okay.
Try to get him to do something.
I see where.
And if he doesn't, it's
I see where your head's at. Yeah. You just, and you know what? We'll touch on it in the Sunday night football game tonight too. Divisional games to me, I'm like, I guess you don't want to show all your cards. And you want to protect your assets. I mean, you just paid that dude $55 million. My God.
Where did teams get all this money?
Joe Burrow.
Crazy.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Saudi Arabia, possibly. On to the next game, though. Buccaneers taking on the Vikings in the morning slate. The Buccaneers defeat the Vikings. The Buccaneers that made the playoffs last year, and a lot of people have extremely overlooked going into this season, go into Minnesota and defeat the Vikings. Your final score there was 20-17. Now, Cameron, you wrote some stats about this game.
I did.
What happened?
So, even though they lost, Justin Jefferson, I know you have him on your fantasy, he went off. He had more yards than anybody, really. He had 150.
Got me 35 points.
Receiving yard. Yeah, he got you a lot. What was it? Oh, but yeah, that didn't really matter. Chase McLaughlin, at the end of the fourth quarter, scored a 3-pointer. 3-point field goal. Boom. Well, they're all 3 points, but
he scored a 3-point field goal.
3
Boom.
points.
57-yarder though.
Yeah, 57 yards.
Deep.
That's long. I asked George. It's a long one.
Yeah, she was like, "Is that a long field
Is that long? Is that above average?"
I was like, the point after should be 50-yarders, but I don't know.
What's average?
I would like to,
field goal range.
If my kicker is drilling everything in the 40s, I'm so happy, And then if he has the range for like a 50 to 55, like I'm like, oh my god.
What's the longest?
64 yards.
That's impressive.
63, 64 yards. Justin Tucker. Yeah. I mean, he put his entire soul into that kick. When you watch him kick that kick, you're like, oh, damn. Like, that's like you got to wind up. He like moved his body like a snake. Like, just full whip action on that leg right there. But that's pretty impressive. The only thing that I can really take away from this game is Baker Mayfield has the best weapons that he's had his entire career, and do not take that lightly. Seeing him throw the ball to Mike Evans, there's just something there. I'm just like, And Baker Mayfield wins over the hearts of his teammates on a play that he was scrambling out to the right. It was like a 3rd and 3. He's scrambling out to the right. You see Baker lower his shoulder like he's Derek Henry. Like he's like, whoever's in front of me, it does not matter. I am plowing through their ass and getting this first down. And it was in front of his bench. And the way that I saw his teammates react to that was something that made me go, those are the plays. You don't get a lot of them. Obviously, like big touchdowns, like helping the team win games, that does it. But like visually, when you see a person putting his life on the line, or at least his body on the line, to get first downs, you're like, all right, I like this Baker Mayfield kid. They're going to be something to seriously watch out for. But as far as Minnesota,
I still like Kirk Cousins. After watching quarterbacks, I have like a soft spot.
What book do you think he's getting at Barnes & Noble this week, Cameron?
Something about perseverance and just pushing through, you know. Something motivational, probably.
Yeah. Let me try to think here. You might read
The Power of Now.
The Power of Now. I need to do something
read.
now. I need to seriously start being better at my job. I feel bad for Kirk's therapist or the sports psychologist. You know, I just do everything right. I just can't seem to get over the hump. That's all I have for this game. Moving on to the next game. How about them Saints, baby? Here we come to get you. You better watch it. Here we come to get you. Saints beat the Titans 16-15. This game was uglier than your ugliest imagination of Rosie O'Donnell. She's fat. She's ugly. She's a pig.
Damn.
I was just like improvising there, but this game was filthy, man. It was not good. Damn it, Derek Carr. We give you all the fucking tools in the world. I want to put up numbies. And we didn't do that. We didn't put up as many numbies as I would have thought we could put up. I mean, like Michael Thomas looked phenomenal. Although he is our number 2 receiver behind Chris Olave. And the reason I say that in like a monotone thing is like, this will only last 3 weeks. Michael Thomas will be the number 1 receiver for the Saints. He will get more targets than Chris Olave. I promise you. The connection was there. Derek Carr, like I've said, what is it, Adnazium? Or what, like, I am nauseous? Nauseous? Adnazium?
If you say it a lot, you'd say, I've said it ad nauseum.
Adnazium. I'm ad nauseum.
Or, well, you just say I'm nauseous. Or
I'm over fucking Derek Carr and me having to explain that he's awesome. But then 3rd down and 7 comes, and this dude, his first 3rd and 7 in the red zone. And I saw the clip. I saw it live, but then, you know, certain plays get made clips of just like, fucking, this was a fail. And it was. He like throws the ball and it like spikes like 3 yards in front of him. And it's just like, one thing. Okay, I know I'm not a fucking quarterback coach in the NFL, but God, Derek Carr is not a quarterback that it like can throw on the run well. And this dude is always on the run. Derek Carr, if you see him making a pass, he's just like either rolling out and then, but when he throws on the run, it just does not look as natural as like these other quarterbacks. Like, he needs to sit his fucking ass in the pocket just a little bit. Deliver darts, okay? Drew Brees, go home, watch the highlights. Go to bed, wake up, watch some more highlights, okay? That's what you can be, Derek Carr, and that's what I need. The Saints win.
Ooh.
The fucking train keeps a rolling now.
A win's a win.
We ran the ball like shit. Like, we did not. Jamal Williams, he looked amazing in powder blue and white with the Lions. I do not like his color combination and him in the black and gold right now. Like, I've been seeing Alvin Kamara for 5-6 years now. I need to see some fluidity. He runs the ball like very rugged, but not like a Mark Ingram. It's hard to explain for me. But the most important thing is, like, Jamal Williams, just hold on to the ball. Fucking sleep holding it tucked. I'm giving the Saints players a lot of tips right now, and hopefully
they watch this.
Hopefully they watch this.
Take notes.
And then, like, I can feel like I helped them. But other than that, hey, you get it done. You get it done how you need to get it done. Derrick Henry, who? We fucking shut his ass down. He had, I think he only had like 100 yards rushing or whatever. But I mean, hey, that's all the Titans do. And Ryan Tannehill and DeAndre Hopkins, that is going to be a divorce, or you see Malik Willis sooner rather than later. On to the next game, Falcons versus the Panthers. Ooh. Cameron, you hit me with an ooh. You hit me with an ooh.
I did.
Falcons win the game 24-10. It's Bryce Young's debut. Do you have any stats here?
It was also Bijan Robinson's, his debut. 2 big rookie debuts. He scored the first touchdown of the game. Nice. Good start.
Bijan?
Mm-hmm. He did.
That made a lot of bettors happy.
Yes. Not me. 56 rushing yards, 27 receiving yards. So he did pretty good.
Nice.
Good.
And then Bryce Young, in his debut, he threw 2 interceptions. And his first touchdown, this was interesting. I saw this as it was happening, but then Hayden Hurst takes Bryce Young's first ever touchdown pass in the NFL.
Touchdown ball.
And in a fit of celebration, it's not a fit of rage. It was a fit of celebration. Oh, yeah. He was so excited that he chucked the ball into, like, what could have hit, if not the front end of, like, or the end of the first section, it definitely hit, like, that little middle divider leading into the second section, probably ricocheted off. But that ball is on the loose. So if you have any whereabouts about Bryce Young's football, please contact the Atlanta Police Department. That is not your property.
Please return it.
He
did say there are efforts to get it back to whoever found it.
It's in Atlanta. They are not getting that ball back.
Like, I want to give it back.
Dude, no. If it's at an opposing team stadium, it's nothing about Atlanta. Kind of about Atlanta. But if you're at an opposing team stadium and you don't take that ball and hide it, like, you're a bitch-ass franchise.
It's not illegal, right? Like,
oh, it's illegal.
It's illegal?
That's the property of the NFL.
Ugh. Okay. Like, they don't have a whole bunch of balls back there. They got a ton of balls.
Shit. They do have a lot of balls. They do. I mean, there's a dude whose entire job is to scrub balls in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah. Ever since Tom Brady and
that whole situation.
Scuttlebutt. But yeah, this game, Desmond Ridder, maybe not as bad as I once thought. Bijan Robinson played like he is getting $22 million a year. So
is that how much his contract is?
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
in the 20 millions.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's like the highest paid running back in the league. Hold on. I could be sounding like an idiot, but these are like things I hear and I'm like, oh, that makes sense because he got his signing bonus. Bijan.
Oh, you get a signing?
Bijan Robinson contract. Boom. Yeah, 21 million. Fucking might as well be 22 million. Okay. I was correct. That's wild to make that much money and be that young. On to the next game. The Colts versus the Jaguars. So, this is one of the games where it's like, this is exactly the way that I thought this would play out. If this was week 19 of the NFL last season, this is exactly how this game would turn out. The Jaguars defeat the Colts 31-21 in Anthony Richardson's debut. We had so many debuts of these rookie quarterbacks. I'll just start with Anthony Richardson being a little bit lost in the sense of there's moments in time where you have to like know how to really rally the troops, and he definitely showed like signs of rookie quarterbackness as far as his composure, and like he was gunning for it early. He was a quarterback that was taking a lot of risks. He is with the same offensive coordinator that Jalen Hurts was with last year. So you're going to see a lot of like the same concepts there, but the biggest takeaway for me on the Jaguars side was the Jaguars look like they have the best receiving core. I mean, the fact that they have Evan Ingram at times lining up at wide receiver, and I really want to see more teams do this box out fade outs where you put a tight end out wide versus a dude who's like 6 feet tall, and you got a dude who's 6'6", 6'7", and you just box them out. Like there's nothing that if you throw the ball high enough, I'm going to go up and catch it. I can run a decent enough route, and that's one of the weapons that the Jaguars have on top of who I think could be the offensive player of the year, and that's Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is fast. When he got the ball today on the opening possession and I saw him in stride, I was like, you're going to cause a lot of defenses headaches and problems. I can only imagine what they're going to do to the other divisional teams like the Titans. I just don't think it's going to be pretty. Like I think Jacksonville is on a path to dominating that division, and they're going to face the Texans. I think the same thing's going to happen. Yeah. So, on to the next game, the 49ers versus the Steelers. The notes for this game read, LOL. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Everybody this week leading up to this game was saying the Steelers at home getting points. Think about it. Take a sip.
I was just about to say that. I heard so much hype around the Steelers and taking the Steelers. Every, I think, betting show I watched said the Steelers.
Yeah, and I mean, Cameron, you do watch betting. Like this is not. She's obviously reading off a teleprompter for everything else, but she does watch betting shows. Everyone was just so excited because they had this image of Kenny Pickett that maybe I just forgot to have this ingrained in my head that Kenny Pickett is a better quarterback than what he led on to me at the beginning of last year, but nothing shocked me here. The 49ers are that good. They were a quarterback away from being in the Super Bowl last year, and I think you're going to hear a lot of scores similar to this one right here, a 30-7 blowout. The 49ers are a team that nobody should F around with. As long as they stay healthy, they spread the sugar around nicely today. And Bosa played really well. So he also got a fatty daddy contract. So everybody in the Bay Area is sitting pretty right now. Everyone is extremely happy. Good
cost of living is high there, so makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's the inflation.
The inflation.
Inflation. The last game of the morning slate was the Commanders taking on the Cardinals. The Commanders defeated the Cardinals 20-16. So
I like your note. I just read your note.
So, Cameron, go ahead and give me your thoughts on this game.
Happy the Commanders won. I took them, but they're the only team I didn't take the points. They were, I think, -7. I just took them money line -315 because I was like, I don't trust them to win by more than 7 points. And good thing I did.
Yeah.
Didn't matter because everything else lost, but
well, the Cardinals
I had it, and I did take the under, so that worked.
Yeah,
that worked.
The under hit by 2 fucking points. It was 38. I think there was 36 scored. Right?
Wait, let me check. Maybe
it was 20-16. So yeah, 20-16. It was the 38 over under. I took the over because I was like, damn, and I was right in my thinking that the Cardinals are an NFL team. Like everybody was like, while the Cardinals are going to be historically bad this year. And I think they will be competitive. I think every team in the NFL can make things competitive. And I think they have a quarterback that, Kyler Murray, you better fucking watch out. Josh Dobbs came in there on not even knowing the entire team. That was the only thing that the TV broadcasters can say today. He's like, he doesn't even know everybody's name in the huddle. He doesn't know everybody's name in the huddle. He's out here slicing and dicing this Commanders defense. And it's true. The Commanders, they got pressure when they needed to, but this game was way closer than it needed to be. Terry McLaurin didn't do shit for me in fantasy. I fucking picked him up. He didn't do diddly squat for me, man. I was disappointed in that performance. Let me see what he was able to pick up for me here. Here's the downside, people. I'm in 3 fantasy leagues this year. 2 fantasy leagues more than I'm used to.
Yeah, 3's a lot. One I'm like stressing out about keeping up with.
Oh my gosh. See, look, I don't even know which league. It's not even worth it. He had a bad game. It's not even worth trying to find which. It's 2 apps, 3 leagues, 2 too many. 2 too many for me. But the major takeaway for me is in every Commanders and Cardinals game for the remainder of the season, if you were to take the under in those games, it's going to hit more times than it's not going to hit. And I think when we go through our sports betting stats at the end, and this is a perfect way to segue into the afternoon slate, stick around at the end to see how Cameron and I both did this weekend in sports betting. We're doing this. It's kind of like forced. We play bad. Okay, we are not good sports bettors. But I think by us journaling, this is like video diary journaling, our loss, like really reflecting. I think we'll be better bettors.
It's week 1.
I know.
I think you're putting it on a little hard for us.
Well, this afternoon slate segues perfectly into why.
For you, yeah. I'm a little more heartbroken for you.
Oh, I'm able to put it, like, not think about it. I'm able to not think about it for, like, the betterment of my health. But I'll just do this.
At least you didn't put in $1,000, right?
Yeah, at least I had some financial backing. But, for this segment, for this afternoon slate segment, this is brought to you by Circa Survivor Series. So if you...
looks good.
If you've been following up with what's happening in Vegas sports betting wise, Circa does this tournament yearly for the NFL season where there's 2 tournaments. There's the Circa Millions and then there's the Circa Survivor Series. So I just being excited about betting, I'm like, oh, I want to be a part of this Survivor Series. Not looking into the requirements for how to be a part of this, right? I thought it was like, for sure, I knew there was money involved. I didn't know how much money. So then when I found out it was $1,000, I was like, well, I'm for sure not playing this. But then, perks of being at Sticky Paws Studios. And if you want to, get to know some cool people, you definitely need to start your podcast here at Sticky Paws Studios. This is solely a networking play here. Bill Krakenberger, the person who is the second guest on my podcast that I was able to, meet here at the studio, he was willing to, put some money down for me to be able to play in Circa Survivor Series. And I also kind of got some money from John Orlando. We were going in this as a team, okay? So there's two tournaments. There's a Circa Millions, Circa Survivor Series. The Circa Millions is you pick 5 teams by the spread each week. The more points you get throughout the season, the more likely you are to win. And there's payouts every month. So like if you were to win the first month of Circa Survivor Series, say you go 20-0, you have the chance of winning $1 million, or I think 150,000 every month. If you're at the top. I didn't do that. I wish at this moment in time I did. Because I chose the Survivor Series, which you pick one team, they have to win outright, and then if you just can't use that team again. Okay, so you just have to pick one winner a week outright. Can't pick them again after you pick them once. So I did that, and I picked the Seattle Seahawks, ladies and gentlemen. So let's start with the Seahawks game. I picked the Seattle Seahawks, and the final score in that game was the Rams beat the living shit out of the Seahawks 30-13. And you may be thinking, George, you have a football podcast. How can you be so stupid to pick the Seahawks to defeat the Rams? Like, you're an idiot. Like, you got money to be a part of this contest that you weren't going to be in because you're poor, and you got financially backed to be in this contest, and you picked the Seahawks and they lost. You suck. 100%. Like,
I agree with you.
I agree with you. So going into this, if you're going to let me plead my case here a little bit, so why I chose this, right? So obviously we heard the news Cooper Kupp was going to be out. Cooper Kupp being out, being the best receiver, being the best offensive threat that the Rams have. I was thinking that there's no way that the Rams are going to be as offensively, fiery. They were, where the Rams were when they won the Super Bowl that year, and they were just operating at full cylinders. I was not expecting that Rams team. I also wasn't expecting a Rams team that was good on defense. Like, I thought they have Aaron Donald. They traded Jalen Ramsey. Who else do the Rams have on defense? The same fucking thing I said about who else do the Titans have at receiver? Okay? Same question. Apparently, they have fucking dogs, all right? Because Geno Smith was he was just running left and right. He could not avoid this Rams pass rush. And as I'm sitting there and I'm watching quarter by quarter, the Seahawks just getting manhandled by people that I've never fucking heard of. That's the part that hurts me the most. I had never heard about 75% of the players that they were like announcing for the Rams. If you were to ask me to even right now, like name Rams players, I could probably name 4.
Matthew Stafford,
Cam Akers, Aaron Donald, Van Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, 5.
Oh, there you go.
I lost to that. Okay. The Seahawks played with no heart. The Seahawks played like they were undisciplined, is the way that I put it to my apology letter to Bill Krackenberger and John Orlando for saying, I'm sorry for
choosing losers.
For choosing
week 1.
Guys, I'm sorry for not even getting us a fucking win. It makes me sick to my stomach. I'm glad that we started with this for the afternoon slate, because then I can start to put it past me by the end of the show. But right now, I'm at a low energy level.
Hey,
this game,
I'm sure you weren't the only one who lost, but
okay,
they were favorites, so it makes sense why you chose them. When you were explaining it to me,
just you could take it over for
when he was explaining it to me, as to why you picked it.
Yeah.
It made sense. He said, I don't want to go with the Ravens. Everyone's choosing the Ravens. I want to do something different. And I like that. I like that thinking. Too bad it was another team, but a winning team. It's okay. It's okay. Next year. We'll get him next year. Because you can't enter again, I'm assuming. The deadline was...
Is there a second chance
Is there a second chance tournament?
Is there a second chance pool?
Ooh, good question. We should ask.
There a second chance Survivor? Is it a red hat? Is it a red hat from Circa for the second chance? I'm still fighting. Oh. I can't wait till the percentages release of how many people were eliminated, and it's going to be shockingly low, and I'm going to just be like,
that would be tragic. No, I think it's going to be, I would say about 30%.
All right, I'm sorry. We'll get banned on YouTube. Fuck this hat, too. Back to St. Jude's, a charity I give a fuck about. Shout out to St. Jude's for providing us with these sick hats when I was at a golf tournament this past Friday. All right. Centering myself. I know for the listeners, this next part, it could be a little lacking, but you need to understand that I missed out on millions of dollars. Fuck!
Damn.
All right. I'm over it. I'm legitimately over it now. Okay, let's just fly through these. Dolphins versus the Chargers. Dolphins beat the Chargers 36-34. What did I find out about this game? Austin Eckler's still really good. The Chargers are loaded with weapons galore. But at the same time, Tyreek Hill fast. Jalen Waddle fast. Dolphins good. Tua had a bad red zone fumble. That could have made this score even like in the 40s. I don't know what's going on with the Chargers defense. This isn't a fluke. All the big time plays that I saw from Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, I'm like, you guys just you look slow. And you know, it could just be because Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are that fast, but when you're in the NFL, there's like a baseline speed level that I'm looking for. I didn't really see it. I didn't see a second gear. Giving up 36 points is a lot of points. So they got a lot of things that they got to clean up. But, you know, nothing to be too upset about if you're the Dolphins. I feel like you did a good job containing what is one of the most high-powered offenses in the league, and that's not even a joke. They're gonna continually put up 30 points. So their defense just has to play somewhat good, and the Chargers will make the playoffs this year. I'm a believer in that. Moving on to the Raiders versus the Broncos. In Mile High, Denver, Sean Payton's first game. The Raiders defeat Sean Payton 17-16. The opening kickoff was an onside kick. Just Sean Payton, I love it. You know, he with that decision right there, let me know, like, okay, I'm back. I'm back in this. I make decisions. Yeah.
Big time. That's
a head coach thing. I wonder when the special teams coordinator was told that they were going to do that. Because I would like Sean Payton to be like, have practiced it all off season, right? Then not tell anybody until like 5 minutes before kickoff. Just go up to the special teams coordinator, just be like, we're onsiding it. Walk off. And then just see what he does, you know? And then just kind of give him the stare. And then he's like, did he just say to onside? Did he just say to onside the opening kickoff? Our first kickoff of the season?
How often does that happen? Is that pretty rare?
He's like, all right, guys, we're going to onside kick it. We're going to onside kick it here for the opening kick of the season. And then they almost got it. It is rare, Cameron. It is rare. You know why? Because it's a bad field choice or bad field position choice. You're giving up a lot of yards. How did Jimmy Garoppolo look? I think he looked amazing. I think Josh Jacobs looked really good. I think the Broncos defense is really, really good. So the fact that the Raiders were able to squeak this one out, didn't really watch it as much as I would have liked to. I was sulking because of what happened in the Seahawks game. But good on the Raiders. Broncos, same old Broncos. You know, Sean Payton's going to have to do a lot more than get a fucking onside kick at the opening kickoff to win over the hearts of the people in Denver. On to the Eagles taking on the Patriots. The Eagles defeating the Patriots 25-20 in New England. It was a game in which it was really rainy. Mac Jones started the game off poorly. Like the Eagles jumped out to a big lead early on in this game here. But Mac Jones was able to stay composed. All right. My big takeaway is Brady was in the building. Okay. Tom Brady was in the building. They did their.
That's my big takeaway.
They did their ceremony for him. He fired up the crowd, and it had to inspire Mac Jones to also be like, I can't lose by 40 in front of
Tom
Brady. He'll think he can come back and take my job. I have to play good.
He comes on the field. Hey, put me in.
Hey, Bill.
Bill,
I think I'm loose. I'm ready to go. Mac's like,
I've been warming up.
Coach, are you serious?
But Coach, I've been practicing.
All off season.
I'm the quarterback. I'm the starting quarterback.
Wait, Tom, you said you're loose? Awesome. Guys, we're running with Tom today.
He knows what to do.
He knows what to do.
Him. Go out there.
It's going to be completely new plays. Don't worry. He's the greatest of all time, guys. Come on. Are you serious?
Tom Brady.
It's Tom fucking Brady. That would have been awesome had Tom Brady, after giving halftime speech, he comes running out of the locker room for the 2-minute drive, like at the end of the game. Like Mac Jones finally gets him into position to win. They get the ball back, which they did, right? And then Tom Brady comes running out of the tunnel. There would have been an earthquake in New England. There would have been an earthquake in New England. I would have.
Is that legal? Can they do that?
The way I'm telling this story right now, like it needs to be like somebody's got to make this happen.
Today was a perfect day for it to happen with the ceremony and everything.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like in a movie or something, like in the future, just take that. Like that's iconic. Iconic in the comedy space. Like there's no more disgraceful of a thing to have had happen. But Mac Jones, 2-minute drive to win the game, fails to do so. So Tom Brady should have came back out. That's that. Packers versus Bears, the biggest Packers-Bears game in recent history. Like we thought the Bears, because we thought the Bears had a chance.
Oh.
We thought since Aaron Rodgers was fucking out of Green Bay, got Jordan Love, got some new blood. What's going to happen? The same fucking thing. If this was week 19 of the NFL last season, it would have been the same thing. Jordan Love dominated.
How are the Bears last year?
Just dominated them. The Bears last year?
Yeah.
Bad.
Mm.
Bad. Bad. There's nothing like shit. Guys, just running on repeat. Jordan Love actually isn't that bad, and it could be like the Packers have just found somebody that can guide the ship here for another 10, 12 years and continue on that tradition. I'm looking forward to see Jordan Love against some real defensive competition. Tremaine Edmonds on the Bears defense, the person that I thought was going to make a huge impact on this Bears defense. Yeah, he just did not look fast. He was late to a lot of tackles. Did not like his performance today. That's all I got for that one. Yeah, and that is the afternoon games. Because the Cowboys played tonight, the Giants didn't. The Giants didn't play tonight. Yep. I was thinking, like, they may as well just have not played tonight.
Yeah, it's hard
Cameron,
not to get one.
You and me tonight at Planet Fitness, we scored 0 points. Before we came here, we scored 0 points. So did the Giants. So did the Giants.
We are the same.
We
as an NFL team.
are the same as the New York Giants. I have a show on Wednesdays called Wager Wars, and on this show, I make 3 picks for the NFL that week in the NFL, and they're the 3 best picks. We're putting $100 down, straight bets on these picks, and the Giants money line was one of my picks. It was my 3rd pick, and the fucking performance that this team put on was more disgraceful than the Seahawks. At least the Seahawks put up points. They existed.
At least they tried.
At least they tried. At least DK Metcalf committed assault on that defensive back. Cameron, you didn't see this clip, but it was at the end. Remember I said these undisciplined motherfuckers at the Seahawks game? Uh-huh. DK Metcalf, after a play, just came and just hit the shit out of some dude from behind.
Oh, my God.
And DK Metcalf is built like a kangaroo. He's just a big body. So when he hit this dude, the dude just crumbled. He stayed on the floor, too. I played possum. Because you just don't know what
I don't want to get hit again.
DK Metcalf's got colored hair, piercings everywhere. I mean, he's like Dennis Rodman, kind of. Wannabe. Wannabe, for sure. Dennis Rodman would have done some shit like that, though. Yeah. So I took the Giants money line. They just looked
Not good.
so bad. So bad. But you know who else looked bad? My dad. My dad had the Cowboys defense in our fantasy football league. And my dad did not play the Cowboys defense in my fantasy football league. Not only did he not play them, but he drafted them like first. Like he drafted them in like round 6. He drafted the Cowboys defense. And you know, we're all like, stupid pick. The Cowboys defense scored the most points in fantasy football history, I'm pretty sure, tonight. It was interceptions, fumble recoveries galore. They were causing a lot of havoc. The Giants did not score a point. Like, it was ugly. And they were just sitting tucked away on my dad's bench. So my dad, he will lose in fantasy this week by more than 35 points. He will be making an apology video on the Gridiron Junkies Instagram page. You will see that because I can't, as a commissioner, have people put up performances like my father just did. He will get kicked from the league, or at least he will feel the shame for not performing. So that's that. Cameron, we sports bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, on Circa.
You can call it that.
On Circa. Yeah, we put them down. Put them down. Didn't say we're profitable. Didn't say we're profitable, except you. You had a profitable week. I want to now go over the stats from us sports betting this weekend. So, go ahead. What you get done?
So, I had 22 total picks. Most of them were parlays.
Oh, yeah. Can you go back to me real quick? I'll explain this part to it.
Go ahead.
So, we love making parlays. We're not straight betting everything, but what we do is we accumulate how many wins and losses we had inside those parlays to see, you know, are we making at least the right pick a majority of the time? So that's the intro into Cameron telling us how she did this week.
So I had 22 total picks, nine winners. 9 winners.
So 9 for 22.
9 for 22. Not bad. Not bad. It was like 0.41%. I'll take it.
So 40%.
0.41 because George was 0.4. I was 0.41.
Biggest bet.
Biggest bet? Oh, well, so I bet $40 total. $156.25. $56.25. Total profit is $16.25. We'll take it. We'll take it for the week. Only had one bet hit. It was a prop bet. It was Amon-Ra St. Brown to score the first touchdown of the game.
And
that he did.
It was $5, right?
$5 to win 56. 56.25.
And that was your profit for the week.
That was my profit. That was the only one. But I'll take it. I'll take it.
You made
it
profits
gave me the money
this week
to be able to make these bets this weekend that I lost.
But that's what I mean. So I think this is the type of video journaling that we will do in the coming weeks to really like hammer home that we do need to make more straight bets, because I myself made 15 total picks, including all my parlays. I went 6 for 15, which is 40% on the nose. I spent $135 on bets this weekend, and I made $0. And if you're going to toss in Circa Survivor Series, you can fucking toss in $1,000 on that too. Even though I only put $200 in. It was a rough week for me. But I made some money in college football, but this isn't about college football. This is the NFL show, so I can't talk about those successes. But I will be making a lot more straight bets. One of the bets I did make was one of the ones from Wager Wars, was Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown score. He literally got a carry in the goal line tripped over his own speed. He tripped over his own speed, didn't get another carry. He's a rookie. I can see it.
Which that was good for me because it let Amon-Ra get the
first touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, but you also had the bet just for him to get any time. Yeah, no.
Fuck. But anyways, Cameron, let the people know where they can find you.
Okay, my Instagram is at CameronLee97.
And we're gonna have you start doing some like sports betting content or something, some scripts.
Yes.
I'm gonna have you read off some stats. You're gonna be our statistician.
Oh,
you can follow me at Mr. George Carmona or at Gridiron Junkies for all the cool things that we are doing here on this channel. We travel around. We make vlogs. We do a lot of fun things, man. This is a channel in which we bring football and we take the layman and we make them give. We make the layman and football give. Because everybody should be a gridiron junkie. Go ahead and follow it. And if you like these hoodies, we got merch coming soon. This was a soft launch for the merch. Shout out to Leo Mejia for providing us with the sample. Cameron, the last thing you're going to do is you're going to tap my intro, and we're going to get out of here until next week. See you then.